DeepCool AG400 Air Cooler Review. DeepCool was founded in Beijing in 1995. And the company has in recent years delivered some of the best cooling solutions on the market, with products like the Assassin 3 and the AK620. DeepCool's current lineup consists of both air and AIO units, as well as computers, peripherals, and other accessories. We've just completed our review of the single-tower Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. While it was certainly an impressive performer, it didn't quite live up to our expectations. In this article, we'll take a closer look at another single-tower cooler, the Corsair H100i. Some text goes here: does it perform better than the CM Hyper 212 Evo? Let's find out. It has 4 6mm direct contact copper heat pipes. When installed, the fans don't require any dismantling. They are easy to install and save you a lot of hassle. With DeepCool's AG400 cooler, there shouldn't be any issues fitting it into cases with full height RAM. There are more factors involved with choosing a CPU cooler than just the heatsinks. The bundled fans play a large role in determining performance, noise level, and even heat dissipation. With the AG400, you get a unique 120mm fan that isn't found anywhere else. With previous generations of CPUs, it was relatively easy to maintain the flagship high night chip at temperatures below its DJ Max in tough workloads. However, this is not realistic on current generation chips, which means extreme cooling is required. With Ryzen 7 processors, we're seeing an increase in maximum operating temperatures compared to previous generations. However, if you're using a cooler designed for older chips, you may experience issues with Ryzen 7 CPUs. Most modern AMD and Intel processors are designed to run at temperatures between 50 degrees Celsius and 90 degrees Celsius without overheating. However, some older models may not be able to handle these high temperatures. Furthermore, the new Intel Core i9 processor features Intel Turbo Boost Max 3.0 technology, allowing the CPU to automatically adjust clock speeds depending on the current temperature and workload requirements. This means that even when idle, the CPU will not be throttled down to save energy. Instead, it will run at full speed, ready to take advantage of any sudden spike in demand from an application. The cooler performance changes introduced by Raptor Lake mean that our tests for most coolings have changed slightly. For example, some coolings were able to meet the multi-core benchmarking requirements when power limits were removed, but most coolings failed that test when power limits were removed. As we mentioned before, the Ryzen 5 3600 doesn't come close to matching Intel's Core i5 8400 for gaming benchmarks. However, when it comes to overclocking, the Ryzen 5 3650H manages to maintain its full 4 GHz boost speed even after running our most demanding tests. For this test, I'm going to use an Intel Core i9 processor running at 4.3 GHz, paired with an Asus TUF Gaming Z690 motherboard and Cooler Master HAF 700 Berserker PC chassis. The motherboard's default fan curve will be used for the CPU cooler's fan speed. To test Cinebench under different constraints, we'll run it using an Intel Core i7 processor overclocked to 4.9 GHz, with a TDP limit of 140 watts. We're also going to run it at 125 watts, which means the fan speed will be reduced from its default setting of 100% to 75%. Finally, we'll compare the two scenarios against each other. We'll measure noise levels from the PSU fan when running at various wattages. Most PSUs will run quietly at 125 watts.